Yeah. Why would I?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at celebrities, both living and deceased, who decided against leaving their fortunes to their children. Some of these celebs may leave their kids a small piece of the pie, but not a vast majority.
And this money is dedicated to helping the poorest, and they know that.
Number 20, Jeff Goldblum. From Jurassic Park to Independence Day to Wicked, Jeff Goldblum has starred in one blockbuster franchise after another, amounting to a reported net worth of roughly $40 million.
Sorry about all that. I didn't mean to startle you.
Goldblum didn't become a father until recently, having two sons with Olympic rhythmic gymnast Emily Livingston in 2015 and 2017 respectively. In a 2024 interview, Goldblum said he didn't see a significant inheritance in his children's futures, feeling they should row their own boat. Goldblum views this as a teaching opportunity, wanting his children to discover their passions in life and work to make their dreams a reality.
Of course, the wise people will tell us that only the now exists. There's only right now.
As Goldblum put it, I'm not going to do it for you, and you're not going to want me to do it for you. Number 19, Andrew Lloyd Webber. This composer redefined musical blockbusters with The Phantom of the Opera, Starlight Express, and Cats.
Memory, turn your face to the moonlight.
Those three alone have spawned billion-dollar franchises, putting Webber in contention with Paul McCartney as the UK's wealthiest music artist. That doesn't mean his kids are set for life. Webber has 2 children from his first marriage and 3 from his current one. Before becoming a billionaire, Webber explained in 2008 that he wouldn't leave his children his then £750 million fortune. Webber said, "I am not in favor of children suddenly finding a lot of money coming their way because they have no incentive to work. So I will give them a start in life, but they ain't going to end up owning the really useful group, his company."
Yeah, I think it's much better that I'm arm's length from it all.
Number 18, Anderson Cooper. We all recognize the CNN news anchor, but Anderson Cooper comes from a long line of wealthy individuals.
I would like my kids to see me as I saw my dad.
His mother was Gloria Vanderbilt, heiress to the Vanderbilt family fortune, which traces back to the Gilded Age. When Gloria Vanderbilt died in 2019, she left Cooper $1.5 million from her estimated $200 million estate. Cooper agreed with his mother that he didn't need much money, not only because he's doing fine, but because inheritance can be a curse. In 2021, after the birth of his first son, but before the arrival of his second, Cooper said that he would follow his mother's example. "I'm not that interested in money," Cooper said. "I don't intend to have some sort of pot of gold for my son."
You know, a lot of people are going to think that you're going to inherit money and that you come from this family and they're going to make assumptions about you, but we want you to know that this is not the reality.
Number 17, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Although they knew each other through that '70s show, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis didn't start dating until well after the sitcom ended.
3 months later, we're living together. 6 months later, we're married and have a kid.
The couple had a daughter shortly before getting married in 2015, with the birth of their son following a year later. Beyond acting, Kutcher has also become a successful businessman. Between Kutcher's estimated $200 million net worth and Kunis' net worth of $75 million, this family is living comfortably, but the kids shouldn't get too cozy. Kutcher said he'd help his children financially if they wanted to start a business and had a solid plan.
Because my kids are not getting big. I'm not setting up a trust for them. We'll end up giving our money away to charity and to various things and Dax.
Yeah, my off-road fund.
And so our kids, if my kids want to start a business and they have a good business plan, I'll invest in it.
As far as inheritance goes, though, the couple is putting their money towards charity and other ventures rather than a trust. Number 16, Michael Bloomberg. Between his work with the Bloomberg LP company, this entrepreneur served 3 terms as New York's mayor.
For a lot of years, I got to work on the subway.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You still take the subway?
I still do when I go downtown, sure.
Currently worth $104.7 billion, Michael Bloomberg ranks among the 20 richest individuals on the planet. Bloomberg has already donated billions to nonprofits, saying that he wants to leave a better world for his children and grandchildren. That said, Bloomberg is more interested in funding organizations that'll benefit the needs of the many, rather than just his immediate family. It's not as if his daughters will be destitute when he's gone. Youngest, Georgina Bloomberg, is an equestrian and philanthropist, co-running a charitable foundation with her sister Emma. The elder Bloomberg daughter is also the CEO of Murmuration, a nonprofit committed to civic engagement.
We provide them with the technology, the data, the analytics, the strategic supports, the research that they need to be able to do all that work as effectively as possible.
Number 15, Tony Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis has been at the front line of the recent Nepo baby debate.
But yeah, it exists, but I get it, yes.
Although Curtis and her siblings might have had certain advantages growing up, their father didn't always make things easy. When Tony Curtis died in 2010, he left most of his estate to his sixth wife, Jill Vandenberg, with the rest going toward their charity. Shortly before his death, Curtis updated his will, disinheriting all of his children. This came as a complete shock to some of his kids, who thought their father might have been manipulated during his final months. They also took issue with Vandenberg auctioning off personal items, leaving little for them to remember their father by.
But I'm happy to be able to share it with Tony's fans and collectors. But it's hard. It's hard for me.
Legal action was taken, but the lawsuit ultimately went nowhere. Number 14. Elton John. By the end of his retirement tour in 2024, this musical icon was said to be worth £470 million, more than $600 million. John is married to filmmaker David Furnish, who's also well off with $50 million to his name.
Our romance was instant but slow.
Together, they have 2 sons through a surrogate, although John and Furnish know the dangers of giving children a silver spoon. John acknowledged that his boys don't exactly have normal lives, desiring to give them the best childhoods possible. At the same time, he wants them to have some semblance of normality. That means having respect for money and work. While John will strive to ensure his kids grow up to be financially stable, he believes a huge inheritance would ruin their lives.
If you're in a position like I am, or have been in a position like I am, of being famous and having an incredibly wonderful and privileged life, it's your job to try and pass information forward to people who need it.
Number 13. Mark Zuckerberg. Within less than 5 years of Facebook's launch, Mark Zuckerberg was the youngest self-made billionaire on the planet.
I actually think having balance between the different things that you do helps make you do all the things better.
Now in his 40s, Zuckerberg ranks among the 10 wealthiest individuals alive, with a net worth exceeding $200 billion. With wife Priscilla Chan, Zuckerberg has 3 daughters. The same month their eldest, Max, was born, the couple started the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative. Rather than leave everything to their daughters, Zuckerberg and Chan plan on investing 99% of their Facebook shares into this limited liability company throughout their lives.
Founder Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan pledging to give away 99% of their Facebook shares, the value a mind-blowing $45 billion.
This was detailed in a letter to their newborn daughter, reading, "Max, we love you and feel a great responsibility to leave the world a better place for you and all children." Number 12. Gordon Ramsay. Despite his hot-headed on-screen personality, many will tell you Gordon Ramsay is a nice guy.
I know deep down inside when you push and strive for excellence, you will get there, even without any pre-knowledge of food. So yeah, I never take that stuff for granted.
His tough love routine isn't purely an act, however. Just as Ramsay demands a lot from the other chefs in his kitchen, he expects his children to work hard to succeed in life. When discussing his kids in 2017, Ramsay said that his money definitely isn't going to them. Ramsay clarified that he wasn't being mean, he just doesn't want to spoil them. When their kids are old enough to live independently, Ramsay and his wife, Tana Hutchison, are willing to give a 25% deposit on a flat, but not the whole flat. Even when your dad is a celebrity chef, you don't get so many free meals.
And also I work hard because you're an expensive
No, I'm not. It's the 3 girls.
Number 11. Gene Hackman. When this legendary actor made his will in 1995, he left out his 3 children. Hackman bequeathed everything to his second wife, Betsy Arakawa, but nobody could predict the tragedy that would befall the couple 30 years later. Hackman and Arakawa were discovered dead in their New Mexico home on February 26, 2025.
Police found Hackman and his wife dead in their New Mexico home. Investigators say Hackman died a week after his wife.
It was deduced that Arakawa died first from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Hackman, who had been living with Alzheimer's and other medical issues, died almost a week later. Since the couple departed within less than 90 days of each other, the fate of Hackman's $80 million estate has been called into question.
Legal experts say this new information around the timing of their deaths could determine what happens with their fortunes. So some really big questions here about whether Hackman's will is now essentially void because it does appear his wife died first.
It could potentially go to charity, although some have speculated whether Hackman's children will be named as heirs. Number 10. Baron Hilton. Baron Hilton was the son of Conrad Hilton, who founded Hilton Hotels. Despite his massive success in business and philanthropy, nowadays, when we hear the name Hilton, we tend to think of his granddaughter, Paris.
How often do people come up and mention this show to either of you?
Every single day.
Famous for being the queen of tabloid news at one point, some might argue that she tarnished the Hilton name with her various reality TV and celebrity heiress antics. However, Baron Hilton's actions reflect a very different view of wealth and status. Like his father, Conrad, Baron donated 97% of his wealth to the Conrad N. Hilton Foundation. The foundation seeks to improve the lives of disadvantaged and vulnerable people throughout the world.
And what I saw was the incredible generosity of the Turkish people in providing camps and food and clothing.
Number 9. Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons of Kiss built his fortune through hard work and dedication, and he wants his children to do the same. Coming from a family that he has described as dirt poor, his values aren't that surprising.
Send your hate mail to genesimmons.com.
Speaking with Michael Eisner on his CNBC show, Simmons explained, "What I want to do is what every bird does in its nest. It forces the kids to go out there and figure it out for themselves. Basically, he wants his children to have to fend for themselves a bit and not be reliant on the mama bird, or in this case, Papa Bird." In the same interview, he clarified that they'll be provided for, but not made rich by his hand.
This has been extremely interesting.
Thank you.
Because you have a point of view that
you secretly
unique.
agree with.
Number 8. Warren Buffett. For many people, the dream is to make it big and then pass that wealth on to their children. Multi-billionaire Warren Buffett, however, doesn't believe that familial ties should dictate who benefits from his fortune.
To take a bunch of stock certificates out of a safe deposit box where they've been sitting 40 years, they have no utility to me. Zero, no marginal utility.
Instead, Warren pledges to give 99% of his money to charity. He's been quoted as saying, "I'm not an enthusiast for dynamic wealth, particularly when 6 billion others have much poorer hands than we do in life."
I mean, if you are this fortunate, you need to share it and do things for other people.
If you were one of Warren Buffett's children, you might be a little frustrated by his logic, but it's hard not to be impressed by the man's incredibly honorable choice. Number 7. Sean Connery. Sean Connery is known to have come from humble beginnings. He dropped out of school at the age of 13 and worked a variety of odd jobs before joining the Navy.
Absolutely right. I didn't know if you'd remember.
It would seem that, despite his own fame and fortune, Connery strove to give his son Jason a similarly grounded upbringing. According to DailyMail.com, in the 1980s, Jason's financial situation was so dire that he relied on the charity of other actors. Furthermore, it has been reported that Jason was to receive nothing in Sean Connery's will. When this reveal sparked gossip, Jason rose to his father's defense, stating, "I honor, respect, and love my father, and for good reason."
It's a very strange thing because, you know, to me, my father was my dad, and to many, many people, he was, you know, this big, you know, superstar and things.
Number 6. Sting. Sting, who has achieved worldwide fame for his work with the police, has said that his children will not be inheriting his money after he passes away.
I mean, being a rock star and being a dad is a pretty difficult balancing act.
He doesn't want his money to be something his kids can always depend on, saying in an interview with Daily Mail, "I certainly don't want to leave them trust funds that are albatrosses around their necks." It seems clear that he wants his kids to be able to depend on themselves.
I have to let them run. I trust them.
On a lighter note, he's joked that there won't be any money left because he'll be spending it all. Number 5. Jackie Chan. Over the course of his career, Jackie Chan has proven to be a truly multi-talented individual, applying himself as a stuntman, actor, director, and producer, and even a singer.
Well, I can't help falling in love with you.
It's a little surprised that he's amassed a sizable fortune in the process. What is surprising is the fact that Jackie reportedly intends to donate much of his fortune to charity after he passes away, and once stated that his son would receive nothing.
After film, 6 months, 9 months, I'm filming. After filming, I go home, I open the door, and, "Hi there, how are you?"
Explaining the decision as it relates to his son JC, Jackie said in an interview with Channel News Asia, "If he is capable, he can make his own money. If he is not, then he will just be wasting my money." Number 4. Nigella Lawson. Nigella Lawson was born into wealth. Her father is Nigel Lord Lawson of Blaby, and her mother, Vanessa Salmon, was an heiress. Nonetheless, Nigella earned a fortune of her very own through her work as a journalist, broadcaster, food writer, and celebrity chef.
On a busy workday, when I want something to eat that's special, simple, and speedy, this is what I turn to. I am making my go-to gochu pasta, and I have ransacked my aisle for, most of the ingredients to make it.
Nigella has said that she plans to leave her children out of her will, explaining that she expects her children to be able to earn their own and fend for themselves. On the topic of financial security in an interview with My Weekly magazine, she said, "It ruins people not having to earn money."
And I think on the whole it's better to do things than to sit around.
Number 3. Simon Cowell. Famous around the world for the harshness he has displayed on such television programs as American Idol and X Factor, Simon Cowell brings some of that stern attitude to his parenting.
You're not really that rude, arrogant person on television.
Well, sometimes.
He has said that he doesn't plan on giving his fortune to his son after he dies, stating that he doesn't believe in passing on wealth. When asked in an interview with The Mirror where his money would go, he said, "A charity, probably, kids and dogs." Given that his son was only born in 2014, we'll likely have to wait a while to hear what he thinks about his father's decision not to give him any of that cash.
What kind of a lesson is that?
It's a good lesson.
Is it a good lesson?
Yeah.
Number 2, George Lucas. After selling his company to Disney for billions of dollars, you think Lucas might celebrate by giving his children even a fraction of that astronomical sum. But as of yet, that doesn't seem to be part of the plan.
You have a priority in your life. And when you have kids, there's nothing like it.
George Lucas, who you may know as the creator of Star Wars and Indiana Jones, made the Giving Pledge in 2010, in which he stated, "I'm dedicating the majority of my wealth to improving education." On the topic, he said, "As long as I have the resources at my disposal, I will seek to raise the bar for future generations of students of all ages."
My interests have shifted to more mature things.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Bill Gates. You may know him as the creator of Microsoft, an expert at jumping over chairs, or being the on and off richest person in the world.
The allowance that they get every week, a third of it has to be given away to a charity. They save it up and then they decide what charity they're going to give it to.
While it's unlikely you know him personally, he's almost certainly affected your life in one way or another, and it seems that he plans to use his money to keep influencing people's lives. Bill Gates is very well known for his philanthropic work, and he and his wife Melinda plan to donate 95% of their fortune to charity. On the topic of leaving his children money, he has said, "I definitely think leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them."
It's not a favor to kids to have them have huge sums of wealth.
Do you think inheritance is the root of nepotism? Let us know in the comments.
Hackman, we know, had left that to his wife Betsy and did not name his children in his will, and Betsy left her estate to charities.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.